Tony's Topics, Tony's Topics, Tony's. What's happening, folks? My name's Tony, and welcome to Tony's Topics. So what do I want to talk about tonight? The NFL. Particularly, let's talk about Week 15 and why Russell Wilson should be the Pro Bowl nominee. Okay, here we go. For quarterback, that is. So, first up, this week was pretty much predictable, honestly, I thought. There were two upset shockers, but for the most part, you could have called this one. Arizona over St. Louis, yeah, Fitzgerald is back, and yeah, Arizona was quite amazing before they lost their quarterbacks and Fitzgerald. So now that he's back, that team's back on track. Two, now do I think they can go all the way? That's another thing, but do I think they're a strong team? Absolutely. Pittsburgh over Atlanta, we all saw that one coming. Baltimore over Jacksonville, you saw that one coming. Green Bay over Buffalo, first shock of the night. We learned that Green Bay's got a chink in its armor, or kink in its armor, whatever. And this isn't really surprising because if you look at some of the losses Green Bay took earlier in the year, the one from I think it was Seahawks and Detroit, both teams have really quality defenses. So it shows if your defense is strong enough, you can crack Green Bay. Hey! Anyway, keep it moving. Okay, so next up there was, I thought Tampa Bay over Carolina, but I guess Carolina remembered, oh yeah, we were a good team a summer ago, so let's harness some of that. Not to mention they're in the worst division in football, so hey, they're actually still in it even though they have a losing record, which I have my qualms about, but due to the fact that football only allows its top 6 teams to make it into the playoffs, I can respect that. I mean, because the NBA has only 15 teams in the East, but yet 8 teams get to go to the playoffs. So I kind of respect how, the NFL, it just makes every single game matter so much more. Okay, so let's see here. Cleveland and Cincinnati, yeah, that was obvious. Yes, Johnny Manziel is out there, and honestly, I think Johnny Manziel is really great. I think he's a part of the new breed of running quarterback, which I'll get into later about why Russell Wilson should be the Pro Bowl nominee. Okay, but the Pro Bowl winner, really. He should be the quarterback for the Pro Bowl. But anyway, so back to Manziel. He's a rookie quarterback getting out there for his first full game, and he's getting out there against a hungry Bengals team that does not want to have their playoff dreams fail. So, yeah, the Bengals are going to bring it. Not to mention that team doesn't like to lose anyway. And from what I saw, Manziel a lot of times was hitting his receivers. Sometimes it looked like he was hitting them dead in the chest. But you got to have receivers that move to the ball and catch the ball when it actually comes to them. But even then, Manziel was running the ball. So, honestly, I think the Browns actually have a future in this kid if they have the patience to just work with him and maybe invest in some of their receivers. Okay, moving on. So, there was Houston, Indiana Colts. Yeah, we saw the Colts on that one. Kansas City over Oakland, of course. New England over Miami. Absolutely. Deal with that. Giants over Washington. Yes. Denver over San Diego. Yes, I saw Denver winning. Well, who didn't? Moving on. Jets over Tennessee. Absolutely. No need to start winning now. Detroit over Minnesota. Although, did you see those fights? What? But anyway, Detroit over Minnesota. Detroit's got that defense. Seahawks over San Francisco. Absolutely. And that's only because Colin Kaepernick, well, no, I'm not going to say that's the only reason, because the Seahawks are an excellent team. Have a chance to win it all again. But until Colin Kaepernick starts running the ball, forget about it. He's a running quarterback. He really doesn't have, he's got good accuracy. He can hit an open man, but he doesn't have like that Peyton Manning pinpoint accuracy where the receiver can have 3 guys around him and he can still sneak the ball up in there. He's, Kaepernick is more of a running quarterback. Now, if Kaepernick's running the ball, that is a hard guy to tackle. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's a running quarterback. Whoever told him to start trying to throw the ball more messed his game up and ruined the San Francisco season. But hey, I guess you got to experiment sometimes to find out what you can do and what you can't. Okay. And by the way, they're out of their mind if they get rid of Harbaugh, the coach. I mean, all these winning seasons he's brought you. Okay, yeah, I dare you to let him go. Another team will swoop him up so fast and start having winning seasons. You tried something new with Kaepernick trying to throw the ball. That's all. It was a failure. It happens. Back to what we were doing that works. That's it, San Francisco. You'll be fine next season. Okay, keep it moving. Let's see here. Finally, Dallas over Philly, the second big upset, but at the same time, before Dallas and Philly even played in the first game, you might almost consider them balanced anyway. You know, both teams were great teams, but do you really can see them winning it all? I mean, I know the Dallas fans, absolutely, you know, but honestly, I guess Philadelphia kind of humbled them, and it just kind of makes sense that they end up going 1-for-1 against each other in the season. And now you got to really look at the real teams. If Arizona's quarterback didn't get messed up, absolutely you would see them at the top of the NFC. But, you know, and Seahawks, you can say this or that, but now the Seahawks are really back. I mean, that defense is back to breaking people in half. So, you know, you're really seeing, it's like Seahawks Green Bay. Does anybody else really see it any other way? It could happen, though. I mean, you know, it's football. Anything could happen, but it's looking like Seahawks Green Bay, and it's looking like Seahawks. That's right. So anyway, but I mean, they are the returning champs. And finally, that Saints-Chicago game's going, but I already called last week. I called the Saints on that one. It's the Saints, folks. Okay, so what are we talking about tonight? The Pro Bowl, and why Russell Wilson should be the Pro Bowl nominee. It's real simple. Let's just stick to the facts. Issue number 1, has a Super Bowl ring even though he's under his rookie contract. Issue number 2, has the most wins for any quarterback in their first 3 years in the league ever. Wow. Number 3, he is the new breed of quarterback. And I can go on and on about this, but let's just talk about a traditional quarterback. Your traditional quarterback, like a Peyton Manning, a John Elway, or whoever, pretty much sits behind his defenders and throws the ball. Okay, or sits behind his offensive line and throws the ball. So what do you need to have this guy be functional? Number 1, you got to spend millions on that quarterback. Number 2, you got to spend millions on the offensive line so that they're actually good enough to protect the quarterback, because we all know chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So whoever's the weak man on the offensive line, that hole's going to keep getting blown wide open. So you have to invest in the offensive line. 3, you have to invest in your receivers. That way, once the quarterback throws the ball, they can actually catch it, or they do catch it, or they move to it to fix stuff up. 4, you've got to invest in your running backs so that they don't shut down the receiving option all the time. And now, 5, the primary problem with it is whenever you have a quarterback that's not going to move, that leaves the defense to have an extra man that can either A, help out against receivers, or B, help out on the blitz. So, to have a running quarterback fixes so many issues. Number 1, your offensive line doesn't have to be that great because the quarterback can move. It is extremely hard to tackle Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers, these guys are, you know, they're a new breed. Johnny Manziel, he's coming up this way. And Colin Kaepernick is a running quarterback, if you remember that. Okay, next up, number 2. So number 1, you don't have to invest in the offensive line as much. Number 2, your receivers don't have to be that great. Why? Because your quarterback can run if he doesn't have any open options. Yay! Number 3, your running backs don't have to be that great. Why? Because the quarterback can run the ball. I'm not saying the man is a one-man show. I'm just saying it takes a lot of pressure off of everyone else if you have a quarterback that can move. Bottom line. And ergo, that's why Russell Wilson is he's the best guy to get the job, okay? Yeah, you can go pick Peyton Manning if you want to, or Tom Brady, but who's the returning champ? Give it up to Wilson. Give credit where credit is due. Russell Wilson. And if you don't pick him, then anybody who doesn't pick him is going to look really bad if he happens to win again. Back-to-back rings? If you haven't been noticing, that Seahawks defense is serious. That's my time, and that's my topics. Tony's Topics.